What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 51 of Buckets of Duckets. I am your host, Chase Myers, in Seattle, Washington. Down there in Louisiana, my co-host just knocked out a bang right in front of you, right in front of the people. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, Josh Watts.
Good evening, shitheads. It's your co-host of your favorite podcast, the Mohawk Meat Castle himself, Josh Watts. This is episode 51, which is 31 less than 20. And this is the fourth episode that we've gotten comments about me not being able to beat up somebody's dad. And then I don't know how many times we have. Did you see what I just did to that bang? Did you see what I just did to 16 ounces of bang energy, bro? Down my gullet, crushed the can, threw it down, domination. That's what I do all day, every day. Welcome to the episode.
How many families have to be destroyed? How many fathers must you take out for them to stop challenging you? I don't understand it.
People just don't get it. They don't understand it. They keep coming at me, talking about their dad's going to build steel beams out in front of my house. I'll take that steel beam and I'll fuck your whole family with it. You understand me? Do you understand what I'm saying? Do you get that?
Does that make sense? Does that make sense to you? You know? Like, can you process
Does that sound like a reasonable thing that could happen to you?
So, of course, what Josh is talking about, for those that don't know, is that you guys should subscribe to our YouTube page. You should do that to the YouTube channel where we post these episodes every week. You can look right above Josh's finger there.
That's where the
subscribe. You can comment right from there, right from Josh's finger when you touch on it. It'll allow
Click
you
on
to comment.
my finger or my huge peck, and it will allow you to comment on it'll be a special VIP comment on the YouTube channel.
There it is. We'll pin it. And so the world's okayest exerciser is what Josh just showed to me. So we have a guy, we mentioned him last week, that's been reviewing all the episodes, and Josh went ahead and threatened his life, because that's what Josh does whenever you step on his lawn. Dude, this is what you get fucking done.
Come on.
And so he got real froggy in the comments last week, which, by the way, pretty fucking funny.
It was pretty fucking good.
Pretty fucking fun. I will give you that. That's why the man's. It
was pretty fucking
That's why
good.
Why he's still walking the earth right now. Is if you're gonna fucking challenge, you at least better be funny when you do it.
Now look,
so kudos to that guy.
I saved it because I wanted to read it for the episode. I'm gonna tell you what. I don't give a shit about any of you shitheads out here that listen to this podcast. No, shit buckets. I love the shitheads. Shitheads that gave us 5-star reviews. You're all family to me. I love you. I'd donate a kidney to one of you sons of bitches. If you messaged me and was like, I need a kidney, guess what? Your boy Josh right there dropping it. Shit duckets? I said it right?
You said shit. Yeah, you said shit buckets for 5-star reviews.
You fucking know who you are. You shit
yeah,
buckets.
Yeah, the ducket heads.
You
ducket heads, and they get 5-star reviews.
That don't give 5-star reviews will message me and be like, hey, I need a kidney. And I'll be like, no. But look, if you want to get on our good side and you want to talk shit on the YouTube, if it's creative, you got to respect.
We'll let it go.
Look,
we'll let it go.
I'll let you breathe another week. Joey Wheeler, in response to the last episode, Stronger Than Your Dad and Prettier Than Your Mom, which is just a fact about both of us.
You can see it. Like, that's the thing. You can't even argue with it. It's so clear right in front of your face.
It's
Exhibit A, Exhibit B.
No, right there. Jesus Christ, what more do you need? Go look at your dumb parents right now. Go into your living room, look at your dumb parents. They look like this? No, they fucking don't.
Tell me I'm not prettier than your mom.
And if
you show her this, and she'll admit, no, baby, I'm not pretty as that man.
I'm not that pretty. And if
those
you hand your
two
dad
men
a bang
there
energy,
are gorgeous.
If you hand your dad a bang energy, he's probably going to pour it into a glass or put a straw into it like some old simp. Not your boy right here, son. I'll chug that shit down. I'll eat the aluminium. I don't give a fuck. Oh, did I say aluminium instead of aluminum? That's right. Surprise. Y'all thought I was just some Louisiana redneck motherfucker. Nope. I know how British people talk sometimes.
Nope. He's British. Gotcha.
Gotcha, motherfuckers.
Been British the whole time.
How great would that be if it's just like, surprise! It's a right old trick, wasn't it?
Hey. They're always spies.
I right old frog in your fuck brain, didn't I?
All English people are spies.
Just one episode it comes on, I have like a little itty bitty mustache, and I'm all of a sudden German. You're like, wait a minute, what? What's going on? What's happening here? So Joey Wheeler, who is obviously a child who does not understand the world or cause and effect or the consequences of his actions, commented underneath after last time when I settled the debate. I will come to your house, I'll steal your dad's sandwich, and I'll make your mom my mom. She'll be my mom. Not even my wife. Yeah. She'll just be my mom.
No,
I'll throw my gym shorts at her and tell her to wash them.
She'll be your emergency contact.
But the reply we got, and I'm going to read it. If you don't know, if you're not a YouTube content creator, whenever you get one of the apps that they allow us, the elite creators to have, it actually allows you to read the text in the person's voice. They have to voice to text it, and so you can hear exactly what they sounded like when they wrote it. I'm gonna share that with the peons out there that aren't YouTube content creators.
Behind the curtain. Here we go.
This is from Joey Wheeler on YouTube. I'll have you know that my dad is an Olympic level power lifter, Marine recon, that would take this Josh character out with a glance. As soon as I'm done with this episode, I'm going to show my dad what you said, and he's probably going to fly to whatever backwoods mosquito trap you call a yard. That was pretty good.
Very good.
That's pretty good. As you stare out of his window, he will crush rocks and bend steel beams in the street. After his display of strength and manliness, the neighborhood will likely make him king, and you will have no choice but to move out. Chase, as always, is a class act. Your boy over there says, thank you. He is a class act. But if you think for 3 seconds that Chase won't stand over your father's beaten corpse and piss on it with me when I do it, you don't understand this podcast in any way.
That's the thing they don't understand about me, is that I'll do it and I'll straighten my tie as I do it. So I stay classy, but
I don't have sleeves on. He's wearing a suit. It seems nicer when he does it. Joey, I'll end your bloodline. I'll beat your whole family up. I don't know how many times we have to talk about this.
Let's get real, bro. Let's get, like, your whole family's done, man. I'm sorry that you continue to piss in the wind like nothing can happen to you, bro. But
I'm going to take your grandpa and I'm going to tie his feet up with some duct tape, and I'm going to hang him from a pole outside. I'm going to use him as a punching bag, and it's on you. That's going to be on you.
It's on you, Joey.
Good. That was a good comment. That was good shit talking.
That was really good. I mean,
it's really good shit talking. 5-star shit talking. You need to know your dad is a weaselly little measle man, and I'm a Mohawk meat castle, and there's just not. It's a caterpillar versus a lion. It doesn't even.
They can't compete.
On to the episode.
Sorry.
We've moved on from this. Sorry. This is fake news, and it's ridiculous. That was good shit, though. That was really good shit.
Actually, let me plug one thing, and then I kind of do want to go back because I do have theories on this guy.
Oh,
but also, fuck him. Our Apple Podcast listeners, our podcast listeners in general, we've been beating up on the Apple Podcast listeners because y'all are almost 50% of our podcast listeners, so we expect a lot out of you. And I'm happy to report. I'm happy to report that once again, a shit ducket graduated and went to a buckethead. I know we got another 5-star review this week. They didn't want to leave a comment, or if they did leave a comment, it hasn't shown up yet. But they at least gave us a 5-star review. We went up another one. So hey, all good on this side this week, guys. That's 3 out of the last 4 weeks that we've hit our mark of 1 5-star a week, and we just appreciate you keeping the peace around here because I was on my way to burn all your fucking houses down last week because I just want you to hit one goddamn button. That's all I want you to do. And I know it sounds like I'm getting heated again, but no, okay. I'm totally calm. Josh is shooing his children away.
Sorry. If you're listening to this podcast, not only am I a specimen of a man and basically the example of masculinity and manliness in this new generation of America that we live in, but I am also a fucking great father. I just told my kid to beat feet when she came in there. She was crying about something. She had tears in her eyes. It might have been blood. I don't know. Didn't even look. I just said, hey, get the fuck out of here. We're making a podcast. So if you hear a little child's voice in this episode, mind your fucking business. Don't worry about it.
How about that?
How about that?
Thought about that?
How about maybe Josh is too busy smashing plates and lifting weights to worry about how to work iMovie great. Maybe you're going to have to hear a kid. My kid's better than your kid, and you're going to have to hear it. So what?
So what?
The fuck what?
So the fuck what? But also, she's a better kid now because now she went and learned how to deal with whatever happened. She learned how to clean the blood off of her face.
She learned to get whatever it was out of the open wound. She probably cauterized the wound. I gave her a lighter.
She definitely did. She knows what to do with that. When you give her fire, she knows how to handle that. So speaking of putting out fire, that's what we do every week here on this show, and we expect a 5-star review. So let's keep this going. 5 Apple Podcast listeners every week, 5-star review. I just want a 5-star review. That's all we're doing. That's not, and would be nice. Would be nice to you. Now let's circle back around to this Joey kid.
I have theories too.
I know. He is either, and guys, go check out his YouTube page. Go check out the comments. This dude he's been lighting us up. So either he is a truly hilarious kid that gets it. Like it's either that, like because it could be because he just popped up one day on like our first episode, like recently, like in the last couple weeks. He reviewed it and he kind of gave a shitty review saying that we needed somebody new, but he was going to keep checking it out. And he continues to check it out.
I'm a character. Chase is a real person, but I'm not.
Yeah, but there's no way that somebody walks through life the way that you do. So it's hard for them to understand that.
If he truly is a child, I could totally understand. At 13, he's like, wait, my dad's 40. What is this? Look at this.
This is an option for a dad?
Yeah, my dad's 40 and sad all the time. What's happening in here? Oh, man, look at him.
Or
it's Matt Brown.
Or it's Matt Brown. It's one of our friends, Brown. And he's trolling us. Yeah.
I know you're listening to this, Matt. Matt has been on several of our episodes. Dookie Hypotenuse. He's one of our best friends. There's just sometimes he hasn't given himself away. If that kid uses an 8-syllable word in the next insult, I'm going to know
it's
for sure.
Coming. The most recent one was the one that exposed him the most. Because that was too. Matt Brown is like a ninja when it comes to internet comments and arguing with people. Like I'm truly scared to go back and forth with Matt like through text. That's not how it is. Like my only chance is looking him in the eye. Okay,
yeah, you'll never understand what's happening.
No, because he will annihilate you, bro. Like he was one of the first people that were when the GameStop thing was going down. Whenever all the nerds were taking back, Wall Street,
rising up.
Yeah, whenever they were doing it through GameStop or whatever, he was like head nerd. He was like the leading the charge of you fucking broke dumbasses are just gonna stay broke if you don't buy GameStop. And I watched people in the comments try to come at him about this, and I must have got invited to 4 or 5 funerals just from his comment section, bro. He was just annihilating people.
I got sent the same screenshot of the same comment from you, Mike Honore, and my wife, because like Matt wrote out a big long thing about how to make money. And look, if you're listening to this and you don't know Matt Brown, if he writes it out, he's right. He is right. So if he took the time to write it out, he's right.
It's not out of nowhere. He is crazy, but it's not out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's like a manic. He's like a manic researcher. Like it's insane while he's doing it, but he's pulling up real information. Like,
and somebody commented, yeah, but I don't know what they said, but dude, I remember reading his comment was like, aren't you the brokest motherfucker I've ever met in my life? Why don't you go back to living your broke life, you dumb piece of shit? Like, it was so much more creative than that, but I was reading it like a movie. Like, I was taken on a journey of this guy, like, oh, maybe Matt doesn't hate this. Oh, no, this guy's broke. Oh, Matt thinks this guy's stupid, but now he's bringing him up. Oh, destroyed him.
And like I can't explain to you how like innocent the first dude's comment was. It was something along the lines of like, hey, do you see this like falling back down, or is it smart to maybe sell now? Like it was something like that. It wasn't like blah, blah, blah. It was just like hey, what do you think? And Matt was like, I think you're the dumbest, poorest motherfucker, and how dare you ask me questions? I said buy it, go buy it. Like that was the energy. We're never gonna Matt pulls out the Thoris for everything that he does.
It's so good. It's so good. That's what
I can never match him in vocabulary. It'll never happen. And so, but yeah, it has a little touch of him Because he's a troller. Like, he's a professional troller. And so we're starting to think that it might be our buddy Matt Brown that is truly Joey Wheeler. So
if it's not, I'm going to beat the shit out of a 13-year-old. I don't know what's going to happen.
Anything could happen, bro.
Chase, I did an open mic this week for the first time in a year and a half, or like almost 2 years, I guess.
Yes.
Even before COVID, I didn't really. I was about to sound like one of the older comics in our scene. I don't really do open mics anymore. I don't really need open mics anymore. I'm not name dropping her, but I went to Lafayette, my favorite place in the world to do comedy, for an open mic. Good news, America. They're just as bad now as they were before COVID. And there's people that did comedy before COVID that are still doing it or have come back that you're like, why?
You had an out.
Yeah,
that's
dude,
the thing.
Exactly.
The
If you'd have stopped, nobody would have even said anything. Nobody would have noticed.
The pandemic was like truly a big cleansing for comedy. It gave all these lunatics a chance to go, you know what? I'm just not going to show up. I'm just done. I'm going to work a regular job for the next year, and I guarantee you my life will be better. I guarantee you it would be better if I don't throw myself at an open mic 3 or 4 nights a week and just be desperate on a microphone. I bet I'll have a happier, cheerful life. And no, some of them they just keep coming back.
At this mic, I got a lot of stuff to talk about. There was a guy there named, I'm always opposed to stage names 100% of the time, except for, I had a couple of Guinness. Chase, here's how serious I am about trying to eat better. I skipped a meal to allot for calories to drink a couple of beers at the show. That's how fucking stupid.
Hey, man, that's how an adult drinks right there.
No,
that
man.
is how an adult gets it done.
It got way out of hand. But, so the first, I had a couple of Guinnesses, and I hate stage names, but I swear to Christ, the comic they called up, his name was Dick Wet, and I lost my shit, Chase. I was like running around this tent going, he's got a wet dick up here. And he was like the third comic. It was insane how amped I was. The first guy that went up, though, did one of my favorite things at an open mic, something I have been guilty of numerous times, so I know what it felt like. He came up and asked to go first, and he had a bag in his hand, and I could see there was a costume change in it.
Okay, so let me interject right quick. So you started messaging in our group message that we have, and you wrote that, and I knew you weren't going to be able to stop yourself from live messaging the entire event. So I purposely did not read anything else after. So all I know is that a guy showed up with some type of costume change, and then I threw my phone across the room because I was like, no, Josh is going to tell this to my face. I'm not going to read this story.
That's why you assholes should give us 5 stars right there. See that? My best friend in the world won't even read my text messages because he wants you shitheads out there to hear it first.
Because I would like for you to hear it.
And
5 stars.
all he wants in
Apple
return
Podcast listeners
is a 5-star review. God damn. You're a good man. You're a good
I'm one of the
dude.
best. I'm one of the best.
So,
I really like that.
I have done comedy now right at 11 years, I think it is. Or is this the 10th year? We're saying 10th year?
February would have been 10 for me. Yeah. Whatever you do with that last year. Whatever you do with the
all right.
year.
So, yeah, we're at a decade. Roughly, and in that time, I have done every kind of comedy. I've done every style of comedy. I've tried so much stuff that did not work.
You were a mime for a little while?
Yeah, I did mime stuff for a while. I used to do hot air balloons, and I'd be like, hey, what animal do you want to see? And when they would tell me what animal they want to see, I would just, every time I'd make a dick. Every time I'd be like, and I'd throw it in their face.
It's a wet dick. Here.
But I did a thing for a while before I knew of Judah Friedlander where I was the world champion of comedy. And I brought, I'll be honest with you, the only reason I did it was because I bought 2 replica championship belts. And I was like, well, I need to carry these everywhere I go with me. And so I started wearing a Mardi Gras jacket, like a satin jacket backwards, so that, because Mardi Gras jackets zip in the back. So they look like a Mardi Gras costume. But if you wear it this way, it looks like you're just wearing a green, like the worst looking satin jacket ever with a cobra on it. And I come in, I do wrestling promos and just really commit to being a character. That bang is catching up now.
It always does, bro.
My esophagus is too muscular to let it just slide right down. So I'm done.
Bang gets the last word. Bang always gets the last word.
Every time. I've committed to characters, and I've done it when I knew they were bad and still had to, like, I've done it where you're like, you step on the stage and the second you walk out, you're like, oh, this isn't going to work. But then what are you going to do? You're already dressed up, you know?
you can't undress.
You're fucked
all
now.
Right, it's there. I like you ever heard those stories of Larry David whenever he was a stand-up comic about how he would go up on stage and look around, and if he didn't like the way the room felt,
he would just leave.
He would just get off stage. He just wouldn't do it.
I think Larry David is one of the funniest human beings I've ever seen in my life. He was on I think it was Letterman, and they brought out one of the animal specialists. And the guy had like a monkey run out in front of him, and Larry David just like, nope, and got up and left the fucking show. Shook hands and just fucking left. And he has such a cool demeanor, like the way, it reminds me of the way you handle stuff where nothing, you can tell he's bothered because he's leaving, but he's cool as shit. He's just, nope. No thank you.
He didn't do Leno's Tonight Show for the entire time that Seinfeld was on, which they're both on NBC. You would think that, and then he didn't do it for even like another 10 years after Seinfeld was off. And whenever he finally did do it, Leno had mentioned like, hey, we've been trying to book you for this for like 20 years, and you've said yes a couple times, and then you backed out of it. And he was like, now that you've done it, do you feel good about it? And he was like, like, I'm not sure yet.
Well, this guy came up. I don't want to mention his name because he seemed like a perfectly nice guy, and he's new to comedy, so he still thought this works. And he's like, "Can I go first?" And he held the bag up and shook it, and I'm there with Maggie Shipley, who is one of the funniest human beings to ever walk the face of the planet, and one of the sweetest. And she is.
I love Maggie. I helped. She came up to Seattle, and I got her on some shows out here.
Dude, she's a fucking
the pandemic. Yeah.
To watch somebody from when they started to getting so good, Maggie is one of the quickest. She was so shy when she first started, and she has come out. Maggie is fucking great. Book her for everything.
I watched her. She crushed when she came up here. I went just to watch the show because I wanted to see her. And dude, she destroyed. Yeah. I was so happy for her.
She's one of the most likable comics on stage, and it gets her. Anyway. So she's making the list up, and he goes, "I want to go first." And then he held the bag up, and he kind of shook it. And sweet,
and everybody was like, "Yep, yep."
Sweet, golden-hearted Maggie was like, "Okay." And it was the same okay that I give my daughter when she's like, I'm going to jump off of this. And I've already told her twice that if you do, you're going to hurt yourself. You're just like, you need to learn this for yourself. I guess that's the only way you're going to get this. So, and this dude, he disappeared. And he goes back behind the trailer.
Into a phone booth.
And while he's back behind a trailer, they're getting ready for the show. A gentleman walks up to me. And he has, he's clean shaven. He has a mustache that's twirled up right here. I'm just letting it soak. No, I'm just letting it soak in. He had a mustache that was twirled in right here. And if you ever met those people that you look at and you know they smoke, even though you didn't see him smoke, you just look at him, you're like, that dude definitely smokes. I don't even know how to explain
cigarette or weed?
Cigarettes. I don't know how to explain it. It's not a negative, but you could just like, oh, that dude smokes. It's explained later. But he walks up and he has a blue mohawk. Like blue mohawk, but he has it slicked down, and it's not as pretty as mine, obviously. And he comes over to me, and I've never seen this person in my life before. And he says, shakes my hand and goes, "One of us is gonna have to shave." And I did like the oh yeah, that's funny. We both have mohawks, but like I'm 70 pounds bigger than you and 6 inches taller than you, so it's probably not gonna be me. Was what I was thinking.
I already put a hit out on your dad. Your father's dead. Your father, bro. How dare you?
While he's shaking my hand like, and your father just died.
That was a really cute joke, though.
But he said that, and I get that. I get the. I love my mohawk, but it's a terrible haircut if you don't want people to talk to you, because the people that talk to you because you have this haircut are the exact people that you don't want to talk to. The guys that'll lean over in their urinal at a racetrack gas station, tell you how cool your hair is. Don't lean over. You could say it from right there without leaning into me, dude. It was anyway. So I kind of ignored it. I didn't even realize he was a comic. We got mohawks. That's funny. And then they start the show and they call up the first comic, and it's this dude walks on stage in a full-on Batman suit.
Yes. What's the quality? What's the quality of the Batman suit?
$60 Target suit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Like
so it's like pajamas.
Like
so he's wearing pajamas.
It's like whenever we were little, remember they had the paper ones with the rubber bands? That was like the basic model. Now the basic model is like the cloth helmet, but the ears don't stand up and it doesn't.
It's got muscles, right? That's what you said. It's got muscles. Okay.
So he walks on stage, and Chase, I knew that he knew the second that crowd saw him that it was a bad idea. You could feel it. And then he was like, no, I'm going to pull this up. And he goes, I know what you guys are thinking. Why is he dressed like this? And I'll tell you, laundry day. And
that was it. That was the whole purpose.
Nothing. Like there was no, and you watched him just go like, oh, fuck. And then he still had to do like 4 minutes of superhero.
He had to do his set.
They're all based around him wearing this Batman suit.
Okay.
The whole set, creatively around, it all goes back to that he's wearing a Batman suit, and not one of them worked in any way at all. Not even a little bit. Not for lack of effort.
Not that it was ever gonna work, right? But I don't think going first is your best opportunity at that working. Because I think you gotta go up somewhere in the middle. You gotta be after some comics have kind of broken the crowd down a little bit. And then it could be like absurd. It's like, oh shit, look at this. Yeah. Like you might have some, but if it's just cold and you're walking up and it doesn't sound like he has a lot of charisma or a lot of, there's not like a thing about him when you walk up where you're like, I trust that he's going to be goofy and funny about this. Like it seemed, wow, dude. Right. So a Batman, so I haven't seen
you would have left. You would have walked out. It was uncomfortable to the point that I went and sat in the front, was just like,
I love it.
Like Pennywise feeding off of fear.
I don't think I've ever seen anybody other than you wear like a crazy costume on stage. I had
a really funny realization of about halfway through when I was doing the one-liners and kind of character-y stuff and not looking. There was a point, and I remember a very clear show where I came off stage and I knew it wasn't funny, but you guys were my friends. So everybody was like, nah. And it was like, oh, okay, so I have real friends at least. Like these are friends in real life, or they would have ruined this for me.
I saw, whenever I did the Burbank Comedy Festival, I saw Joey Medina dress up as like, he wore like an old man, like prosthetic or whatever the fuck. Like he dressed like he actually like, look, and he went up and he just did like a lot of pretty racist, like old man
Tony
stuff,
Hinchcliffe
like a little bit. Oh yeah, we can talk about that in a minute too.
I want to hear about that. Fucking Travis.
So Elkins.
Yeah, Elkins, not 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine's great.
Yeah,
just have him on this podcast. Beautiful human being.
Beautiful. So yeah, he wore like an old man costume and would do like kind of every now and then some edgy racial stuff. But then like nobody knew it was him, and he never let anybody off the hook about it. I only realized it because I was in the festival, and whenever I was like I was either performing next or something, I saw him like getting out of it, and I was like, oh, okay. Because to everybody in the crowd, it just seemed like somebody's grandpa just went up there and started talking about the 1950s. Like it was.
You never
it was
break that character though. Maybe that's just how you are in real. Maybe that's just really who you are.
Yeah, it gave you permission to finally. Yeah, finally let it go. But yeah, I don't think I've seen an open micer.
Didn't you send me a picture of a guy in a diaper when you went to San Francisco? There was a guy in a diaper standing on a chair.
But I wasn't at that show. That was like just something circulating around.
All right, okay.
And yeah, but I wasn't there. But yeah, I saw that picture and then said,
I've been there. I've done it. I know what he was doing, and I know how it felt to know the second he walked out that it didn't work. I know exactly what that felt like.
The sympathy you have for this man.
Oh no,
amazing.
no sympathy, no sympathy at all.
Oh, you have no sympathy.
Sit in it. You sit in it on that stage for the 5 minutes and don't ever do it again. Learn your lesson.
The empathy, I guess, is at least the better.
Fuck
you are showing that. You're trying to get hard on me right quick. You were just showing your heart. Don't.
Oh, I did actually.
Yeah.
Genuinely, I felt bad.
You son of a bitch, making it sound like I'm crazy. I know what I just heard you say.
He's a new comic, like real new enough to think that walking out in a Batman suit and doing lots of jokes was going to work. And he seems like he actually cares about it, and he put thought into it. So I felt bad for that. I mean, you gotta learn, I guess, you know. And then
amazing.
So he goes up
after when he gets off. Does he immediately leave? What does he do?
I never saw him again, so I'm guessing he did.
I would fucking love it if he just stayed dressed as Batman and went and sat at the bar.
We should have made it. That should have been the rule. Like, no, you can't change.
No, dude. If you're gonna be Batman, you fucking Batman. All right.
No, you sit right there. No, leave the mask on too.
You leave it on. You're the Dark Knight. You're the fucking Dark Knight. You sit there. And if anything goes crazy, guess who's got it? You. All right? You're responsible for saving all of our lives if something goes down.
So the show starts going on a little bit. There's a lot. Oh, at the beginning of the show, in Seattle, do you remember, it's a common occurrence here in Louisiana. I'm not sure how normal it is at other open mics. But it's a very common occurrence for just some random asshole to make their way into the group, like the circle of comics, and just kind of be a disruptive shithead. I don't know if you...
Yeah. While all the comics are talking, like before the show or during the show where they're outside.
Or while they're making
somebody.
List.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen the list part of it out here, but yeah. I've definitely just had some random guy that was on the street walk up and try to smoke our weed or whatever, or yeah.
This guy, we're in a circle making the list, and we're in gravel, and a guy in a wheelchair starts rolling up, and that's very loud. And so we're looking at, not only is the wheelchair loud, but he's screaming about how great he's going to be, and that everybody has to call him Big Papa Worldwide or something crazy. And I'm like, oh, this is just Lafayette. This is just an open mic guy. And I was like, okay, he's just being loud. And I turn around and like, he's kind of struggling to get over because it's gravel and he's in a wheelchair. And I just looked away. I didn't
help at all.
I was the closest person that probably could have reached over, but I didn't. I looked away and just didn't look at all. And then he comes over.
How you feel about that?
I feel fine about it as the night went on.
Okay.
It didn't make me feel bad. He's being real loud and disruptive during the meeting, and like he doesn't stop talking. Oh, y'all I'm gonna do this. Y'all ain't never seen my sit down comedy, and like just an open mic guy, I thought. And then they were finally like, hey, we're trying to do the list. Do you want to be on the list? And he's like, oh no, I'm not a comic. And then some other open mic person's like, oh no, he's with me. And they're like, well, we could be with you over there. He could be with you over there and not interrupting the meeting. And someone reminded me that it would be very ableist of me if I didn't beat the shit out of that guy for disrupting the show just because he was in a wheelchair. Right?
Okay.
Like he wants to be... You treat him like everybody else. Me looking away and not helping him, that's not how I should have done it. I should have flipped his wheelchair over and stomped the shit out of him for talking too much during the open mic meeting. And it was brought to my attention that it didn't happen.
So I don't understand. So he was sitting there talking about how great he was going to be on stage, and then you were like, "You want to be on stage?" And he was like, "Oh no."
Yeah, exactly like that. And then he rolled up. Then he rolled up into the front, directly in front of the stage, and answered every rhetorical question and shouted back at every.
Of course. He helped. He helped.
Yeah, he was helping. I don't think that I should have beat the shit out of the guy because he was in a wheelchair. But I think if I had beat the shit out of him, it would have been okay because I was treating him equally. Right?
I agree.
Thank you. That's what I thought. Good. That's some weight off my mind. So a couple of other horrible comics go up and just bring my whole mood down. I'm drinking a lot of Guinness to try to get through this. I really wanted.
I've never known you to drink Guinness. This is.
I'm not really a drinker.
And you keep mentioning it. You keep throwing it out. So is that your new thing now, or?
If I don't usually drink at all, but if I do drink at shows, I usually just whatever is free. But here it's at the Worst Beer Garden in Lafayette. It's half off of any of the beers, and I really enjoy. When I was in Afghanistan, on the way to Afghanistan, I had Black and Tans. You ever heard of that? Mm-hmm. Where they mix Bass and Guinness, and it's like a layered. And it's real thick and dark beer. It's like drinking alcoholic pancake syrup. It's the greatest thing ever. I gained like 20 pounds in a month there drinking them because it's just syrup. But if I have to pay for a beer anyway, I'm going to buy a Guinness. So I was drinking half off Guinnesses, a lot of them. And I saw the blue-haired Mohawk guy get called up on stage, and he's a veteran, and he started talking. But the problem I had was his name. What do you think his name is? Blue-haired Mohawk. Comes alphas me. What do you if you had to guess, what would you say his name was?
So his name is Josh.
You think that, right? No. This motherfucker who walked up to me, not sight unseen, never met him before in my life, and tries to big time me and tells me I have to shave. One of us has to shave while he shakes my hand too hard. His name, Pee-wee.
Wait. Oh, I was gonna say wet puss, but
it would have been better.
Hard puss.
I would have respected hard puss way more. His name was Pee-wee. And the second they said his name, I went over to Maggie and was like, I need to go up now. You put me up now. And she's like, there's like 2 more comics before you. And I was like, good, I'm going now.
Okay, so now, right? So we're saying the same thing then,
we're
right
the same
now?
thing.
Okay.
And look, when I got on stage, I could not, there was the first thing I said is, look, the guy, and I told the whole story, and I was like, came up, told me I had to shave, and I was like, just to be clear, my name is Josh, a regular, good old-fashioned adult name. Your name is Pee-wee. If one of us has to do anything, it's always going to be Pee-wee. We're wearing the same dress out for a night on the town, Pee-wee changes. We have the same haircut, Pee-wee shaves. Our beards look the same, Pee-wee shaves. It's never the dude with the adult name. It's fucking Pee-wee. Every fucking time. Pee-wee? Who? Pee-wee! A guy who calls himself Pee-wee had the cojones to come up and try to big dog alpha me.
The huevos!
First of all, I respect that. I respect that he had the balls to do it. And then it turns out he's a Marine. So, of course, he had the balls to do it. He'd have fought me right there if I had asked him to, which made me like him a whole lot more. But I talked shit on him for like 3 minutes on stage. And then
man, Pee-wee got to grow up. Pee-wee's the one that's made life decisions that aren't great. Like, that's who has to change.
In the middle of talking shit about him, I realized I do want to know how he dyed his hair that blue. So I was like, so I do need to ask him about that. And then, like, he's sitting right there in front of the asshole crowd. I was like, y'all think he heard all that shit I said a minute ago? And there's a dude in the crowd with a Stone Cold shirt that threw me off. I was trying to do my set, and I kept seeing this guy with a Stone Cold shirt. For some reason, he wanted me to see it. He was like, hey, look at this. And I was like, no, I fucking see it. I couldn't. Tried out some new bits. Felt good to go. It's the longest I've gone. I did 30 minutes. It's the longest I've gone since all of this.
So you closed the open mic?
I closed in the middle of the open mic because there was like 25 comics, and Lafayette's 3 hours away. So I closed in the middle of it, but yeah, I closed. And I got tipped. Somebody gave me, which is always nice. I tried out some new bits, but then it turns out I was really, I had too much half-price Guinness. So some of the new bits I tried out.
I've heard of such a thing.
Were actually old bits that I just haven't done in a long time. And I had 2 bits that I very specifically wanted to work out, and I never even thought to mention them. Because I just made fun of everybody for a while.
To quote Corey Mack, we ain't famous, so all of our material's new. So
there you go.
There you go.
There you go. But it was
he told
fun,
me that
man.
one time whenever I was like 2 years in or something. I was telling him how upset I was about not having any new material. And he was like, motherfucker, you ain't famous. It's all new. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah. I needed somebody to call me a motherfucker for me to understand.
That's a good point. He's a solid point. I got to see Joey and Tyler and Charles Thomas. You might not know who those
Everybody's
are.
good.
Those are all lovely comedians from Lafayette.
These are all Lafayette comics that
I was so happy to see
I used to do comedy with back whenever I was living there.
I was so happy to see all those guys. Lafayette is probably my favorite. It's one of the most inviting places to do comedy. I love going there. I love all the guys there, and Maggie. I mean, everybody there. I didn't mean guys, but they are
just the men. Love all the men there.
Just the comics with dicks.
The funny ones.
They are reforming Dead Cell Comedy though. I'm gonna help them with that. So we're gonna be Dead Cell Comedy version 2.0.
You're gonna help them with that.
We're gonna.
What does that mean? You're
we're
gonna help them with
Dead Cell 2.0, bitches. Y'all didn't see that coming, huh? Wake up! It's the New World Order.
Bro.
I just turned. Yeah,
stop with this guerrilla camera work you keep doing.
I saw somebody do it once, and I was like, I got to get it in this episode, and I just realized I've done it like 5 times.
Hey, I mean, it's a good bit.
It's great. It's a good joke. I'm gonna keep using it. This podcast is 6 hours. I can fit it in a couple times.
Yeah, man. Keep it going.
But the set went well enough that the guy that books out there, I don't remember his name, Jason something. He's gonna book me on some more shows.
Nice. You should do more shows.
Thanks, man. I'm gonna try.
My TV
gig got canceled or postponed. There's something going on with the Louisiana Film Channel. So since I signed a release saying how much I was getting paid and all of it, I thought it was cool. So I've been telling everybody. I've just been talking about it. Now it's just not going to happen. And people that aren't involved in comedy in any way, just fucking dumb civilians, don't know anything. So they're just gonna be like, oh, Josh just made up some shit and told me that. Why would he just say that? Why would he just say some shit like that and then have it not happen? I bought new shoes.
Why would he say it to my face? Why would he?
He grabbed me and made me turn around to look at me and tell me.
He told me he bought new shoes and everything. I don't understand why you would go through just to lie about
I bought new shoes. I bought new jeans. Everything. I even bought a new fucking belt. A new belt. But I tell you what, I set up for the night the show was supposed to be. My parents and my brothers are watching my kids. And I'm not going to tell them that the show's not canceling. I'm just going to...
No,
I'll drop the kids off and I'll go wander around Denham for 2 hours. I'm sure nothing bad could happen then, right? You just wander around Denham for a couple hours.
No, go to the Waffle House. It's the safest place. So this past weekend, I was sitting in my living room, and Travis was in his room, and he was on a video call filming his show on his YouTube channel, and you were on the other side of that. And my 2 best friends, who don't really know each other, they know each other through me, we're just giggling and having just a good old just a lot of fun, just having a ball. And I'm sitting in the goddamn living room like an asshole while you 2 are just becoming new best of friends. And I had to fucking interrupt it. I couldn't take it. I could not. I was literally standing outside of the door listening, going, these motherfuckers. And not even, Travis isn't even going to ask me if I want to be on the show. He didn't even think about fucking asking me. I bet they didn't even talk about me. They're not even talking about me.
We did, because I wanted to hear from Travis's mouth. And I said, we're competing for Chase's friendship. But I knew we weren't. I knew we're not competing. It was a trap. And I wanted to see what Travis said. And he laid it out plain as day. He said, no, Chase has made it real clear. You and him are best friends. And I was like, I know. But I tell you what, Travis, keep that door closed, keep Chase out. Maybe me and you could be best friends, huh?
I knew it. I knew secret deals were going on that I couldn't hear about. And so you were on Travis Nelson. If you go to Travis Nelson Comedy, it's his YouTube page. We talked about it last week because
it's the best thumbnail I've seen on YouTube ever.
It's a pretty good thumbnail. Really good. I'm in the truck butthole sketch, which is also on his page that we talked about last week.
We linked it in the last episode.
We did, and I think it got a little bit of love after we talked about it. When we talked about it on the show, it was at like 1.1. It's at like almost 1.7 now. So it got.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Wait a minute. So that many people could watch our show and then go watch a YouTube sketch about truck buttholes, but you can't click 5 stars on Apple Podcasts? You need to get your fucking priorities straight. That's insane. I've never heard anything like that in my life. If you were hungry, wouldn't you eat food or would you go out dancing?
You dance with the people you came with, okay? That's how this works. All right, you're with us. I mean, goddamn, if you're going to be out here making other people famous, you stay with us. So you were on his show, Funny Sad.
Yeah.
Which him and my buddy Vanessa Dawn, who she's also great. She's originally from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and she moved up to Seattle like a year after I did. So we have like this. There was like a group of Southern and Midwest people that moved up to Seattle like within a year of each other, and we kind of all bonded over how much the Seattle people don't realize how good they have it.
She lives in Seattle. I didn't know she lived in Seattle now.
Yeah, she's like in Denver right now because she got some job during the pandemic where she's been like just traveling around and doing stuff. But there is a home for her here whenever she comes back. But she's been like living in hotels and like I kind of can't wait to talk to her again because I haven't talked to her in a while to hear like how crazy her life has been. But you were on their show, which is where they read your tweets and decide if they're funny or sad, and they make you answer.
Yeah,
they make you answer your tweet. They really lost the is this funny or sad part of it, and it's just turned into you said and then stare at you.
Explain yourself.
Yeah, and so you say whatever weird thing you tweeted at 1 a.m. that you didn't think anybody was going to notice.
I had some weird ones in there. I haven't been on social media in 6 months, so I didn't remember.
I was really happy whenever I looked at your Twitter because so the thing was I busted in the middle of the show or at the end of the show.
And read the only tweet I wanted to make sure got on there. The only one I was praying got on there was the one you brought in. Thank you.
I did, yeah. So I busted in to read a tweet because I'd be goddamned if there's going to be a show that Josh Watts and Travis Nelson are on and I'm not at least making a cameo. So I busted in there. I fucking knocked all Travis's shit off his desk. It was like it's
a real disruption. He comes in and super kicks Travis right in his fucking face. Drops him out.
I went a little too hard, honestly. There was a lot of apologizing once we turned the cameras off. But I looked up because I was looking through your Twitter, and you truly, the last tweet that you had was the day the fucking idiots stormed the Capitol. Like you were legit to like I'm off of Twitter, and you haven't been back on since then. So that's the actual date.
That's the only thing I've got on social media for since that. I mean, for real, it was that morning, the 6th of January, when I saw all of that happening. I think I opened Twitter up and read like just a little bit. It was like, oh, I'm done. I've been looking for an excuse. This is it. And I haven't gone back. So not going back, I've been missing out in the neighborhood right here. They have a Facebook group and
that's right.
Yeah, dude.
So you haven't been looking in the group.
No. I haven't been getting any free shit from the group, and I haven't been making fun of people or trying to fight anybody or nothing. It's killing me inside.
That's why Neighborhood Watts has been so quiet lately. I've been trying to figure out. I was like, man, we haven't been getting any stories.
Somebody posts something on Facebook that's stupid. I antagonize them and then go out and try to run into them in public and then in the neighborhood and argue with them. That's how it works every time. People in this neighborhood fucking suck. There was a post about somebody's dog. Like every time somebody's yellow lab got out and was in a yard. And the guy was like, I'm calling animal control. His dog keeps coming into my yard. And then somebody was like, that's the dog that peed on my mailbox at 6:30. So fucking what? Are you...
So dog was doing dog stuff?
Yeah, so you can't do your daily mailbox pole licking? What are you talking... Of course he pissed on your... Like, what is it? Like he wrote that and we were all supposed to be like, no, you call animal control on that piece of shit dog. He's a dog. And then like Michelle is sending me pictures of this because... I know about the dogs in the neighborhood and I care about the dogs in the neighborhood. There's a couple that run around the neighborhood that always go home, but we have creeks so they come swimming and stuff. And I always try to keep people from, because people will trap them and then call animal control, be like, this dog's roaming around the neighborhood, but they always go right back home. But those are 2 yellow labs, and there's a yellow lab puppy that lives in the neighborhood that isn't one of the ones that roams, but people confuse him. So I didn't want them to take somebody that lives in the neighborhood. First of all, it's a lab. You don't need to call animal control. He's in your yard. In your yard. That's all he did. He was just walking around this guy's yard. So the guy brought him in a fence and closed the fence in and called animal control because his dog's been in his yard twice, so it deserves to die, I guess. Fuck you. Oh, God, I fucking hate it. And then I was like, I'm going to get in the Facebook group and tell this guy that's my dog, and then I'll just go get it and let it go. Like, that's... Because if you call animal control, they'll put it down. Nobody's ever going to go to a rescue and find that one lab. If you call animal control, you just assume they're going to kill the animal that you're calling on. And good on you. That's great. Dog's in your yard, so he should be killed. That's great. You should find the family that he belongs to, drag him over there, and you should cut his head off with a shovel in front of him. That's what you should do. And then maybe the next dog won't do any dog stuff like peeing on mailbox posts. Anyway, I got fired up and I logged into Facebook. I have logged into Facebook twice since January 6th. Once because I wanted to upload a dope ass profile picture that I've never gone back and looked at again. Because I got scolded immediately. I posted the picture, and within 30 seconds, Chase told me to log off. Like, the first comment was, you log off right now, immediately.
I got a notification that you posted, and I immediately was like, no, you don't, motherfucker. And I just, all caps, log off right now.
That's what happens
right now. I see you. So many people. By the way, I got like 100 likes.
Everybody's like, no, don't get back on here. So I logged in, and I don't have the app on my phone, obviously. And if you log in through the browser, it's a huge pain in the ass, so it's very discouraging to keep you from doing it. And I logged in, I went to the neighborhood group, and I clicked on it, and the first post was the dog post. But you know how you see like one comment will just randomly, you can read one comment that's further down just because they show it right there before you click on it? Does that make any?
Yeah.
There was a comment from this lady. There's a lady in this neighborhood that just had a baby, and I swear to God, do you want to talk about flip? I would flip her wheelchair over and stomp her out gladly. She is one of the. This lady is. Her name is. I'm not going to tell you her last name. It's. She lives in my neighborhood, and she's the worst human being I've ever seen. She is 65% of the reason I'm not on Facebook. Every day.
And the other 45%.
Yeah, is the capital, right? Yeah. I stand by those numbers. I stand by those numbers. Everything she would write on Facebook in the group was like it was personally made to anger me. And I fucking hate this lady. She has no idea who I am because I've never responded. All I've ever done is take a screenshot of her picture and send it of her post and send it to Michelle. Look at this stupid twat. What the fuck? You know, like I've never actually conversated with her. I have a couple of years ago on this podcast, I thought she was the one who somebody stole the bucket of candy that she had on her porch. And she said if they didn't bring it back, she wouldn't be participating in trick-or-treating next year. Yeah. You leave a big bucket of candy in your driveway during Halloween, it's going to get like that's
somebody's gonna take all the candy.
That's what happens. But her threat was she won't participate. Anyway, she won't participate unless somebody brings back the bucket and apologizes. Every post she makes is just the worst. She's a horrible human being. And when I clicked on this dog post, I was gonna go lie to this dude and say it's my dog so that I could just get it and let it go, or find out who it belonged to, or do something with it. And when I clicked into the group, the first comment underneath that was from her, and it was like this long. And I saw a couple of emojis, and Chase. The second I saw it, I went, nope, and just clicked off of Facebook. I was like, I guess that dog's gotta die because I'm not doing this.
Good for you, man.
If that dog died, because just seeing, this is how programmed, I know I sound like a crazy old person. This is how programmed that shit gets your brain. The second I saw her name, without even reading what she had wrote, I started to get angry. Just because I feel like I know her because of the stupid shit she posts on the group. And I just immediately logged off and hadn't logged back in. I missed out on a fucking squat rack for free that somebody's getting rid of. That's the problem. Because now all those people that want to make a home gym during quarantine are back to work and realize, oh, I'm not going to be working out in my gym. So they're getting rid of equipment for cheap. And I am there to just bring it all in. I got a couple of benches. I got a bench press machine. I got some weights. It's some great stuff. But I missed out on a squat rack. So I was like, maybe I should get back on Facebook. And then just knowing you're still out there.
To stay on it.
Michelle took her phone and turned on notifications. So anytime anybody posts anything for free in our neighborhood group, it will notify her and she can say,
there you go.
My husband wants this and I don't have to do anything.
Perfect.
Yep.
That's
great. Dude, I feel like I'm missing out on stuff in some ways because I know like some of my friends, comics that I don't really know. I know them from comedy. I know some of them have babies and like I'm missing out on stuff like that. But I would rather see them and actually talk to them now than read. I don't know, man. I definitely sound like an old person.
Yeah,
Facebook is fake. Old, I miss real contact. Don't text me, call me. Fuck you. Don't do either.
Hey, you're 80. You're 80 years old suddenly.
Ah, man.
So we said all that to say you were on Funny.
What the fuck is with music these days, right?
And the show was good. It was good. I actually watched a little bit of it earlier. The Funny Sad. that you were
yeah,
on.
that's where this all started from. Yeah,
you just talked over me throwing it back at you. I was just like, and all that is to say funny say. You're like, who the fuck did anything to music? That's what just happened. So
sorry about that. A good thing that came from doing the show, I got to meet Vanessa. I've watched Travis's. I think Travis is funny. I've watched him. I've watched his YouTube channel. Like he's probably my favorite comedian.
All right, we're done. Okay, it's a good week, everybody. Catch y'all bucketsofduckets.com.
I do watch his. I watch his stuff because I think Funny Sad is a really it's a funny idea for a show, and especially now that it's just explain yourself is even better. But it reminded me of a couple of things that I wanted to use as jokes that I didn't remember because I'm not going back through and reading stuff. Jokes that I forgot to tell on stage because I got drunk.
No, the breaking the story you told on this podcast that you tweeted about was breaking that antique whatever that you got from your neighbor.
Bookshelf.
Yeah, you gotta. Yeah, that story has to go on stage at some point. That's too funny.
That was the one. That's the one. That one. And there's a guy on my drive. Oh, I got to talk about that on the show too. That and there's a guy that owns a Mustang that I want to talk about, but I got to get him. I got to talk about it on the show. Not now. No, I'm just
okay.
I just kept saying I got to talk about it on the show. Later.
I know. I was about to say, is there a show that I don't know about?
So I drive Zoe to and from school.
You and Travis started a show, didn't you? You son of a bitch.
It's called Duckets in Buckets. So I drive Zoe to and from school every day, and Covington is like a grid. So this road, like the main road, will just be slammed with traffic, and you can just go one road over and drive the exact same path with no traffic, just stopping at stop signs. And that's what I don't handle. I'm not real good with road rage. If you yell at me in traffic, it's probably a problem. Chase, this is a side note, but this is one of my proudest moments that has ever happened in my life, and I should be embarrassed to say this on a podcast, but I'm not. I watched a guy in traffic swerve around me, and I knew he was pulling up beside me to talk shit. I saw him rolling his window down. I saw him screaming and I knew. And he pulled up beside me, and I had my window down, and I got to watch a man go and then drive on. He got to look at me and then decided that he didn't want to yell at me in traffic and drove on, and that made me feel really fucking
goddamn
good.
Right,
dude. I texted Michelle immediately. It was like, this guy just did. While I'm driving, I texted her right away. It did make me feel really good. I felt like, hey, you motherfucker! So on the way to Zoe's school, I always see a guy come out, and every day he has on cargo shorts and a shirt with a dragon on it, and the little metal framed glasses. I'm not gonna call him a nerd. That's not a word to describe a human, but like a Magic the Gathering type fan or like a sorcery type fan. Like every day he wears shirts with dragons on them and cargo shorts. You know what I mean? Like he's into dragons. He doesn't look like he has a lot of ladies, just from my guess, right? And then one day, so he bought one day he was driving like a beat up yellow something. And then I noticed like a week later, there is a bright red, brand new Mustang in the driveway. And I see him. He lives right next to the stop sign to cross the main road. So I'm always sitting at this stop sign for a while that I can kind of study this weirdo in his natural habitat. Right. And he went from having this beat up yellow car to this red Mustang. And it's a beautiful, like brand new Mustang. And he would come out and he had more of a pep in his step now that he had this Mustang. And he walked slower from his door to make sure people saw that he was the guy that's going to get into the Mustang.
Yeah.
And when he'd get in it, he'd rev it up a couple times before backing out of his own driveway, which is unnecessary because you're going 2 feet.
Mean,
but dude,
you got a Mustang. Get your
shine on, bro. You know what I mean? I get it.
Gotta rev it, baby.
I get it. I remember those Cash Money videos where they had prowlers and stuff. That's what I would do too. I get it. I'm not old. I remember in 2000 when Juvenile had that music video on MTV.
Hey, we all been there, baby. Okay, I remember Get Your Roll On. All right, I remember Bling Bling.
Every time I come. Anyway, I remember I remember Lil Wayne when that came out. I was like, he's the guy that's going to try to go solo from the Hot Boys? No chance. No fucking way.
I try to explain to people that I listened to Lil Wayne when he was 15 years old, and they don't know what I mean. I'm like, no, he had like 8 albums before the Carter came out.
It made me feel weird to be like 19 or 20 and listen to like this 15-year-old rapping and being like, yeah, no, he gets it. This fucking kid gets it. So this guy, he's taking his time. He's making sure everybody sees him in his Mustang. Now his hair is spiked instead of just down. It's standing up. Like,
yeah.
Okay, he's primping. This dude is fucking peacocking, and I love it. Good for you, dude. Get your strut on. And then I drive by, I don't know, about a week of this. I see it every day. He comes out around the same time I see him strutting. But every day he's by himself. Like, he's not getting the wet dick or hard pussy that he wants, I'm guessing. And then one day, as I drive up, I notice his Mustang. It looks like something happened to it on the side. And I think, oh, fuck, did he get in an accident? Oh, no, my friends. This motherfucker went and got an airbrush dragon.
Yeah! It was always going to happen.
Fucking side of his Mustang is a dragon, and the head is on the hood.
Bro, that's been his dream for so long. Like, middle school, that kid was like, one day I'm going to get a fucking Mustang. I'm going to spray paint a goddamn dragon on it. Everybody's going to love it. Everybody's going to love it. They can all suck my dick.
Every binder he had in junior high had this exact Mustang drawn on it. Absolutely.
I know this kid.
Dude,
I know who this kid is.
That was my exact thought when I saw it. Was at first I was like, good for you. You fucking got it. You wanted it and you did it. Like, I know. But now
that is a life goal achieved.
And
for
you
sure.
made it. But for I want to make it a joke on stage. And so then you start playing with what actually happened. And then like this guy in my head, it's like, oh, he was having trouble getting the attention he wanted in his beat up yellow car. So then he went and bought this bright red Mustang. It was like, this is going to get me all the wet dick I want. And then when it didn't, he was like, what can I do to make this brand new Mustang more attractive to young women? Or young men, whatever he's into. How can I get more hard pussies or wet dicks in this Mustang? I'll airbrush a fucking dragon on it. Then he's like, but what would it look like? Oh, hey, Mom. Do you have all those binders from junior high in the attic still? I need them now.
Now. It's time, Mom.
It's
Mom,
time.
The day's here. Bring them to me.
Hey, I'm writing down, Mom, it's time in my phone because I want to save that as a note for the punchline. But the dude had such a hit to watch his strut grow from the beat up yellow car to the spiked hair with the Mustang to now spiked hair, black, oh man, ooh. I was about to go, black wife beater, but you don't, that's not what they're called anymore. You can't say that anymore. Tank top? Tank top.
Say tank top or sleeveless shirt.
Uh,
Man, I can't believe the world took wife beaters from us, bro. I used to just be able to just wear wife beaters and say it all the time. And now I guess people got problems with their wives getting beaten. I don't understand.
Hey, you try going to prison for 8 years. You try going to prison for 8 years of playing basketball and not wear a wife beater, huh? Try that.
Right? That's what I'm saying, dude.
That's
like, I don't know.
callback.
People text you now. They fucking text you. They don't talk to you to your face. Just in case they wife beaters. I can't talk about all the people that I think I'm better than. It's just bullshit. It's just bullshit.
It is. I mean,
what happened in this world? Comedy's dead. They killed comedy.
Now he wears.
By the way,
tanks.
you did a call back to a personal conversation, I think, that we had.
Oh no, that was on the episode. That was on the.
You did say it? Okay.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Wait, what was the callback? Hold on.
Doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure.
About going to jail for all that time, and now.
Was that not on the show?
I don't know if we talked about it. You did an open mic a few weeks ago, and a white dude, was complaining that he can't say the N-word anymore because of comedy.
That they took society, cancel culture took the N-word away from him. And the best part, he's telling this to a table of comics who are POC, like every one of them, except for this dude and me. And oh my God. I sitting there like, when he said it, I thought he better not look at me to back him up as the only other white guy because it's not going to happen. And immediately I just pulled my phone out and was like, Chase, you ain't going to believe this.
You ain't going to believe what's happening around me right now.
Every time that dude said something, I would go,
Yeah, I heard so much from that. I was at that conversation, but I was at that table. No, I hate that. I mean, that's what just. Okay, go. You still got Dragon.
No. I've watched him glow up though. Now he wears his tank tops and he has the fancy like the silk button-up dragon shirts over it, and he's got a little bit of strut. And I want to hog him. That fucking good for you, dude. But I don't.
Nah.
He would just be weirded out by that, or a dragon would fly off the hood of his Mustang and eat my whole soul.
No, he's gonna get his fantasy nerdy weird girl pretty soon. It's coming.
Keep trying, buddy. There's somebody out there for everybody, mostly.
Hopefully. Yeah, but the comedy thing of I mean, that's what we just saw that happen this past week with a piece of shit comic where there's that whole idea of being edgy and comedy taking away what you can say, but it's like, no, because what you said is actually just a horrible thing and there was nothing funny about it, and people are just finally not putting up with that bullshit. Because Tony Hinchcliffe, who I've never had even a little bit of respect for even a second.
Never heard of him. I've never
heard of him. Okay, so
I've heard of the Kill Tony podcast.
Is his thing. So that's where I initially, let me just go off on it.
So
that was where I initially was like, fuck this dude. Because I never understood. I would talk to my friends, like comics that I knew in LA, and they would tell me oh man, I'm going on the Kill Tony podcast. And the Kill Tony podcast is where they have a bunch of comics go up, you do 1 minute, and then Tony Hinchcliffe tells you if you're funny or not, and he roasts you and he tells you whatever, and then that's the whole idea, right?
The only way I've ever seen it was because it's like, it was never about the podcast. It was always, the only reason I've seen it is because of who was on it. Like this TikTok star went on the show and wasn't funny or something. Like I've never seen it because this is a good podcast.
Yeah, because it's not. And also, I'll be goddamned if Tony Hinchcliffe is going to tell me if I'm good at comedy or not. I was in LA when I did that fucking festival. He was doing Kill Tony, and a bunch of my friends were like, oh, dude, let's go. I'm not fucking, fuck that dude. I'm not going up there and let him, I'm going to do a minute of comedy, and then he's going to fucking embarrass me for everybody forever or what.
No.
You know, and even if you do well, it's not like you do well and now what? I'm best friends with Tony fucking Hinchcliffe.
Who cares?
I'm friends with the fucking B squad of the Joe Rogan podcast. I don't give a fuck about people that fucking Joe Rogan endorsed at some point. They're never funny. I don't give a fuck about Ari Shaffir. I don't give a fuck about Red
Louis
Band,
Gomez
whatever the
is
fuck.
on that.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care about Tony Hinchcliffe. I'll be goddamned if I'm gonna let this dude tell me that I'm not funny. So I never fucking understood it. I fucking hate it. I've never heard him fucking say anything funny. I've never heard him be funny. So I'll be damned if he's gonna tell me I'm not funny. And then this week, he went up in Austin, Texas, because he lives there now, because he was fucking gobbling on Rogan's balls. And was
is that why he's
in
Austin now? Is because that's where Rogan is?
Yeah, because Rogan has an influx of his fucking little minions are following him down there.
Sorry,
and so, sorry, buddy. You fucking got there right before all the shitbirds got there. And so he goes up on stage. The comedian that performs before him is Asian comic. Tony goes up on stage and immediately just gets real racist. Just starts calling him derogatory. He thinks it's funny. The crowd's laughing. I couldn't fucking believe it. The crowd's laughing.
More racist than what you think. Like, yes. When he says this, if you go look it up, it's way, he does bad stereotypical Asian accents. It was pretty shocking to hear.
Yeah. It's not that much different than Michael Richards and whatever he was doing. Like it's
not
pretty fucking close. Yeah, except for that crowd knew that it was bad. This crowd doesn't respect Asian people and love Tony Hinchcliffe because he touched Joe Rogan one time, and so they're all into that shit.
That's what I wanted to ask you. Is he generally considered funny? Because why did that get laughs? That got the laughs of this is somebody we should laugh at, not it's funny.
Yeah.
So is it because the Rogan rub, or does he have a special that's good, or is
he does have a special that is not great?
I've never heard of him.
He shot a special at the Ice House in Pasadena, and it's called One Shot because it stays on a oneer the whole time. The camera doesn't move; it just stays on him. And he thought that made him some type of artistic fucking genius. And so that special's out there. I never respected that either. I don't respect a single thing about this dude's career. And he's buddies. Rogan has stamped and approved him from way back when, and there's that Legion of Rogan guys which, by the way, I don't have as much hate for Rogan as I do his little fucking minions.
I don't
actually
mind
think
Rogan
is. I actually think he's talented. He's a bit of a fucking, he's a bit of a dumbass kind of bro, but he's also. Of all of them, I'll accept hearing shit from him over anybody else. He's actually 30, 40 years into comedy at this point, which is crazy to think about, where this is just some fucking weirdo. And so he goes up, does the whole thing. He just completely Asian stereotypes. It's hateful. You don't hear any point where you're like, oh, that's funny. It's almost like he's expecting you to think like, oh, you wouldn't think, like, Tony wouldn't think this way, so that's why it's funny. But I'm like,
he
no,
sounded
dude,
really comfortable saying it.
Yeah, I think you do think this way. So the comic that went on before him, somebody was filming it, and so that comic then posted on Twitter like, hey, great, because it's like Asian Heritage Month and whatever, and he was like, hey, happy Asian Heritage Month, this is what, and all the comics that I know from Texas were just fucking blasted, including Evan was blasting him too, and it just fucking letting him go. So I mean, he is not like welcomed right now in Texas amongst comics.
So the crowd laughed, but he's
caught heat from it.
When I looked it up, the only thing I could find, because whatever, our friend Travis Elkins likes to make likes to make me look up stupid stuff, because he knows I'm not on social media. So when he said something about Tony Hinchcliffe, never heard of him, so I had to Google him. And I'm gonna tell you right now, if I'm Googling a comic and the first thing that I pull up is Ari Shaffir writing out a defense for you that's this long,
yeah,
that ain't it, bro.
No, yeah,
that ain't it.
That's the thing.
Ain't no way. Ari Shaffir is one of the biggest sacks of shit that's ever done comedy. Attacking a one-armed woman comic that went before him, the Kobe Bryant thing, everything about Ari Shaffir. He drugged Burt Kreischer without his knife.
The Amazing Racist was a fucking show that he had on YouTube for years, where he would just go. He would just go and be racist. And whenever people would freak out and start fucking trying to fight him because he was fucking had fried chicken on a fishing wire and was throwing it at black people, and whenever they would start fucking fighting him, he would act all like, oh, what, bro, it's just calm down, it's just comedy, what the fuck, calm down.
It's hard to believe that he hasn't been, because he's 60 pounds, so it's hard to believe that he hasn't been beat the fuck up yet. And
I'm sure it has.
The drugging Burt Kreischer thing, do you remember, he like gave Burt DMT without his knowledge? Are they still friends after that? I don't know enough.
I have no idea. I don't keep up with Ari. So
I heard Burt talking about it, and he didn't really seem all that upset about it, which is insane to me. Yeah.
I mean, it just depends. But anyway, so that happened, and the comic, luckily the comic that was hosting the show has gotten a lot of love since then, and it looks like Tony is, he's going to hopefully get what he wants. I know that Joe Rogan was doing shows that weekend, and Tony was on them, and then suddenly he wasn't on them. So,
oh shit! I was wondering, is this because one of the guys on Twitter that I really hated before I got off was Luis Gomez.
Yeah,
you know, I think he's Tony's.
I'm sure he's one of those right wing dudes.
He's one of those guys. He's not funny. He just says. Like, I'm wondering if Tony is happy with this.
Of just saying, I hate the idea of just saying slurs and then being like, that's funny. Like, that it's not funny.
And then using people's anger at you as being like, oh, well, see how good I am at comedy? You just didn't understand.
Yeah, they can't take a joke. I'm just like, dude.
And I watched the video. I watched the video of the comic set before that they were like, this is the context that the media is not showing you. And like, it's an Asian guy doing comedy. Yeah. And then the guy after him is super racist with Asian slurs. We got it. Like, you don't need. You got
context was there.
And the context that Tony's people are sharing only makes the comic before him look better and Tony look worse. And you're seeing, like, I saw a little bit of y'all are just bitches and can't take jokes. It's not a joke when you make when you make an entire race of... Where
was the joke?
Yeah,
that's the thing.
Yeah.
What was the joke in all of that?
Yeah. It's just mean to be mean and to be able to say, I can laugh. I say what I want.
And I can laugh at that if there's a joke in it.
Mm-hmm.
If there's an actual joke, if there's a point that you can make. Dave Chappelle on those specials said a lot of horrible things about trans people. But there were like points and jokes to it, and there was a little bit of a wink, wink. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a little. It wasn't. It didn't seem like it was coming from a place of hate. It came from like you could see that there was a comedic thought to it, and that he purposely was dancing around on kind of like a difficult subject. That's not what this was. This was not some great fucking philosopher that's going to make me rethink the way that we handle race in this country
shit,
or whatever.
George Carlin come back alive. Oh.
Right. This is just some fucking asshole who knew that his fans would laugh whenever he said a horrible thing. Like,
he sounded, I didn't realize he was a Rogan guy. That makes a lot more sense to why. But I was really disappointed to hear the crowd laugh, and so I'm glad to hear that he's caught a lot of shit for it. Because
he got heat from it. It was just that's his crowd. You know what I'm saying? So like, they're gonna give him the benefit.
The
of
Michael
doubt.
Richards thing you said is the best comparison I can think of, because I remember seeing that Michael Richards thing and like that's hate. There's no hiding. That's just pure hate. Like, he feels hate in his heart, and he's so comfortable saying those horrible things that you're like, it's not a joke. He didn't mean it as a joke. It's not a punchline. You're just a sack of shit. Fuck you, Tony.
He's just a sack of shit, ladies and gentlemen, and that's our show for the week. Tony Hinchcliffe, just a big old piece of shit. Tell him we all said it. I don't give a fuck. Make sure you like and subscribe.
Smash that like button, bro!
On all podcast streaming platforms, Apple Podcast listeners, 1 5-star a week, baby. Let's do this. 3 out of the last 4 weeks we've done it. Let's keep it going. YouTube people, thanks for checking in. Make sure you subscribe. Tell a friend. Joey Wheeler, I can't wait to hear what you fucking bring us this week, you motherfucker.
I hope your mom lets you on the internet tonight to tell me something stupid that I can rebuke next week. You're giving us content. Tell your mom they let you borrow that AOL dial-up CD or whatever your broke ass uses to get online. Come up with your little bullshit so I can just squash you down and crush your dreams and eat them up with my protein shake. Good luck being 14, you fuck.